everyone, my name is Isaac from the Innovation Consortium, and today I would like to share with you about discs or cutting discs, what they are, what we use them for, and the different types maybe. To start with, I would like to define what a disc is. A disc is a circular tool with abrasives actually we use for cutting different materials. To specify the different types, on my table here, I would like to specify the different types, or first of all to show you what a disc is. You get a clear picture of a disc. When you ever come across a component in this form, these are discs. They are different in the purpose they serve, but these are all called discs, as you can see. Also, this is a disc. They are different in their structure, but they serve different purposes. But they are all called discs, and we mount them on the grinder to perform different roles. So it could be cutting, it could be polishing, it could be grinding. So basically, that is briefly what a disc is. To enlighten more on the different types and the purposes they serve, we shall see them as they lie here on the table, my working table. To start with, there is this particular type of disc, and this is what we call a 4-inch 1mm cutting disc. 4-inch, it's the diameter, the outer diameter, and the 1mm is the thickness. So it's 4 inches by 1mm, a cutting disc, but 4 inches in diameter and 1mm in thickness. The second one we shall talk about, a 4-inch 2mm. The 4 inches stand for the outside diameter, or the diameter, the outside one, and the 2mm normally for the thickness. So it's 4 inches 2mm, but it's also a cutting disc. We have a 4-inch 6mm grinding disc. So beyond the 2mm cutting disc we saw, we jump into the 6mm, and this is a grinding disc. The purpose it serves is grinding. So we never use a 2mm or 1mm disc to serve a grinding purpose. We normally use a 6mm for grinding. This one is 4 inches, but 6mm. The 6mm is the thickness. So when you're grinding, it can't break away. But for the 1mm and the 2mm, once you try to grind with them, they just break away. This one is 6 and rigid. It serves the purpose of grinding basically. We have a 4-inch circular saw, and this one is basically for cutting wood, any wooden pieces. It's a circular saw and it adapts to a grinder. It's a cutting disc, but specifically for wood. We have a 4-inch concrete cutting disc. As you can see, it's 4 inches, but we use it for cutting specifically concrete. So if you ever come across a disc in this format, you just know it's for cutting concrete, any concrete material. We use this one. We have a 14-inch cutting disc. This one also is for cutting. It's 3mm in thickness, but we use it for cutting actually. And this one adapts to a chop saw we saw in our episodes of a chop saw. So this is the disc of a chop saw, basically for cutting on a chop saw. There is also another disc. It's a 4-inch polishing disc actually. It's a 4-inch polishing disc. Why polishing? On top, it's reinforced with polishing paper or sandpaper. So basically we use it for polishing any pieces of work, or it could be a welding, it could be a joint. So we normally use these polishing discs, 4-inch polishing disc. So basically, those are the common types of discs we have, and we adopt to a hand grinder to serve different purposes. Now we have seen the different types of discs, but furthermore I would like to enlighten each disc we've seen and the purpose it serves. To start with, the 4-inch 1mm, this one is for cutting. 4-inch 1mm for cutting, and it adapts on a small grinder. There is a 4-inch 2mm, it's also for cutting, and it also adapts to a 4-inch grinder actually. We have a 4-inch circular saw, it's for cutting wood. These two are for cutting metallic materials. This one, it's for cutting wood specifically. We have a 4-inch concrete, and this one specifically, it cuts concrete, basically. Then we have a 4-inch 6mm, and this one is for grinding metallic pieces, basically. 4-inch 6mm for grinding. We have a 4-inch polishing, and this one is for polishing. It has sandpaper. It's like you're sanding any metallic or finishing your job. We normally use these ones for polishing. We have a 9-inch concrete. This one adopts to a bigger grinder, but it serves the same purpose as the 4-inch concrete. They all cut concrete, but the only difference is in the size. And lastly, we have the 14-inch, and this one is for the chop saw, specifically for cutting, just cutting, and we just place it on the chop saw as you had seen earlier on, and we cut different materials. So basically, those are the purposes each cutting disc we've seen serves. And lastly, I would like to enlighten on the safety when using these cutting discs. As you very well know, and as I had explained in our last videos of grinders, these discs fume away, or when using them, they produce chips and flames plus fragments. So whenever you're using them, you need to take caution on safety. The first part of it, you should be having safety goggles when using the cutting discs or any disc. You should be having goggles, you should be having a nose mask, you should be having gloves, you should be having ear muffs or pelters. And to furthermore explain about that, whenever you purchase a new cutting disc, there is that precaution written or engraved or labeled on the cutting disc, the safety devices you should use while using a cutting disc. As you can see this one, there are these precautions you can see here. There is a nose mask, there is an ear muff, there are gloves, and there are also safety goggles. There is a mask, pelters, gloves, goggles. The same applies to any disc. You could think it's only the small one, but even if you purchase a bigger one, the same precautions are there, as you can see here. You should put on your goggles, you should put on the pelters, you should put on the mask, the gloves, and the safety glasses. So generally, those are the safety precautions while using these discs we should take. They are normally engraved on the disc. Each disc you buy, there are those safety precautions basing on the type of disc you're using. So basically, concerning the disc, I hope you've got a clear picture and a clear explanation what a disc is and what to use it for and where to use it and the safety precautions. So those are the discs for you. And I remain Isaac, still from the Innovation Consortium. Thank you very much. Keep tuned in for our next episodes of How To. Thank you.